Rock history loved to celebrate singers and frontmen, but collapsing bands were often rescued by the player standing a few feet to the side. When lineups cracked, albums stalled, and momentum vanished, these 12 overlooked guitarists changed the ending. Number 12. Carlos Cavazo. Before the comeback, Quiet Riot looked finished. Randy Rhoads had left in 1979, Kevin DuBrow rebuilt the group under his own name, and only when the lineup locked into place with Carlos Cavazo on guitar did the band reform in earnest. By 1982, they had signed with Pasha Records, distributed by CBS, and Cavazo was carrying the riff load for a group trying to reclaim its identity. The payoff was enormous. Metal Health became the first heavy metal album to hit #1 on the Billboard 200, reaching the top spot in November 1983. Cavazo never got the myth-making that surrounded Rhoads, but the comeback only happened because he gave the band a harder, radio-ready second life. Number 11. Phil Collin. The Crisis. Hit on July 11, 1982, right in the middle of the Pyromania sessions. Pete Willis was out, producer Mutt Lange needed results fast, and Phil Collin came aboard within days. He cut the stage fright solo in one take, immediately convincing the band they had found their missing piece. That switch changed the whole decade. Such crazy love, you must be some kind of drug. Pyromania eventually reached diamond certification in the US, and Hysteria climbed even higher at 12 times platinum, making the Collin era the band's commercial peak. Steve Clark remained essential, but Collin was the emergency replacement who helped turn a wobbling young act into arena royalty. Number 10. Lindseay Buckingham. On New Year's Eve, 1974, a struggling singer-songwriter was invited to join the veteran blues band Fleetwood Mac. He agreed only if Stevie Nicks came too, and that package deal changed everything. The resulting 1975 self-titled album quickly spun off 3 hit singles, including Rhiannon and Over My Head, restoring the band's commercial pulse almost all overnight. Then came the explosion. Within 2 years, Rumors was born, and the album eventually reached 21 times platinum in the US while selling more than 40 million copies worldwide. Buckingham did far more than replace Bob Welch. He modernized the sound, sharpened the arrangements, and helped turn an aging blues outfit into a pop-rock institution. Number 9. Joe Walsh. By 1975, success was already wearing the Eagles down. Bernie Leadon walked away, and the band needed a tougher edge to survive. Walsh replaced Leadon and added more hard rock ballast to the Eagles' sound, exactly when the group risked becoming too polished for its own good. That extra bite powered their most famous reinvention. Hotel California arrived in December 1976, hit #1 by January, and is now certified 26 times platinum in the US. The title track sounded bigger, meaner, and more dangerous, which is why Walsh felt less like a new member and more like a defibrillator. Before we continue, which band on this list do you think was most transformed by one guitarist walking through the door? If you bought any of these albums the week they came out, we want to hear about it. Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 8. John Sykes. Cast a shadow of doubt here, I can't let go. Thin Lizzy were not exactly thriving when John Sykes arrived. The band had already endured lineup churn, personal problems, and fading momentum, but Sykes brought immediate fire. He joined in time for 1983's Thunder and Lightning, co-wrote Cold Sweat, and gave Phil Lynott one last guitarist who could match the speed and aggression of the early 1980s metal scene.
just don't believe it.
Even fans who preferred the classic twin guitar years admit that Sykes stopped the decline from ending with a whimper. Thunder and Lightning is widely remembered as Thin Lizzy's heaviest album. He may not have saved the band forever, but he absolutely saved its last chapter and gave the catalog one final burst of energy. Number 7. Steve Howe. In 1970, Yes had already made 2 albums, but Time and a Word failed commercially. Peter Banks was gone, and the band needed a guitarist with wider range. Steve Howe joined that year, bringing acoustic finesse, jazz touches, and a much broader sonic vocabulary than the group had before. His use of a Gibson ES-175 helped reshape the band's identity from the start. The breakthrough followed almost immediately. The Yes album, released on February 19, 1971, reached number 4 in the UK and number 40 in the US. That was the doorway to Fragile, Close to the Edge, and the classic era. Without Howe, Yes might have remained an interesting idea instead of becoming progressive rock giants. Number 6. Mick Taylor. July 1969 could have broken the Rolling Stones. Brian Jones was gone, the band was battered by chaos, and the pressure around their next phase was immense. Into that mess stepped Mick Taylor, fresh from John Mayall's Blues Breakers, already carrying elite blues credentials before most rock fans even knew his name. Taylor did not just fill a vacancy, he stabilized a crisis. The results became the stuff of legend. The Stones' run through Let It Bleed, Sticky Fingers, and Exile on Main Street is still treated as the band's defining artistic peak. That era gave them the repertoire and image they have traded on ever since. A damaged band suddenly sounded untouchable again. Number 5. Zack Wild. By the late 1980s, Ozzy Osbourne still had star power, but the guitar chair had become unstable after Randy Rhoads. Then came Zack Wild. The two first teamed up in 1987, and No Rest for the Wicked introduced Wild's muscular style to a fan base that wanted a long-term foil, not just another temporary replacement. The real proof arrived with No More Tears. The album peaked at number 7 on the Billboard 200 and remained on the chart for well over a year, eventually reaching 4 times platinum. Wild did not imitate Rhoads, which was the point. He gave Ozzy a new identity for the 1990s and kept the solo career arena-sized. A lot of fans still argue about which guitarist on this list made the biggest difference to the band that needed him. If you ever saw any of these lineups perform live, this is the place to tell the story. Drop your concert memories in the comments below. Number 4. Marty Freriedman. Before the rescue came the reset. Megadeth had fired guitarist Jeff Young and drummer Chuck Baylor. Dave Mustaine was cleaning up, and the band needed a lineup that could finally match its ambition. Marty Freriedman was recruited in late 1988 or early 1989, and the sessions for Rust in Peace began shortly after, with drummer Nick Menza completing the new lineup. That lineup became the standard by which every later version was judged. Rust in Peace reached number 23 on the Billboard 200 and is still treated as a thrash metal classic, while Countdown to Extinction debuted at number 2 and went double platinum. Freriedman did not just help Megadeth survive turmoil, he helped turn instability into prestige. Number 3. Jimmy Cresbow. Approximately $1.5 million reportedly went into Rock in a Hard Place, and Aerosmith were barely holding together. Joe Perry had already left, Brad Whitford exited during the sessions, and session ace Jimmy Cresbow suddenly found himself co-writing with Steven Tyler, while the band tried to convince the world it was still alive. Commercially, it did not save the era. Spiritually, it kept the band breathing. Cresbow and Rick Dufay still played dozens of shows before the classic reunion took shape in 1984. And by all accounts, Cresbow could flat out play and write. Now that is the sound of a forgotten lifeline. Number 2. Jeff Beck. One hit nearly blew the Yardbirds apart. For Your Love reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1965. Eric Clapton hated the pop direction, and he walked. The band could have unraveled right there. Instead, they brought in Jeff Beck, who became the lead guitarist at exactly the moment the group needed a new identity. What followed was more than a replacement job. With Beck aboard, the Yardbirds pushed into Heart Full of Soul and Shapes of Things, tracks that helped blaze a trail for psychedelic rock. Beck did not merely keep the band alive, he dragged it into the future and laid groundwork for an entire generation of guitar innovators. Number 1. Vivian Campbell. By 1991, Def Leppard were facing the kind of loss many bands never outlive. Steve Clark died on January 8th of that year, and Phil Collin wound up covering all the guitar parts during the making of Adrenalize before a permanent partner arrived. Vivian Campbell, formerly of Dio and Whitesnake, was brought in during April 1992 to take the band forward. The timing mattered. Adrenalize debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, held the top spot for 5 weeks, and sold more than 7 million copies worldwide. Campbell was not the flashy rescue at the moment of disaster. He was the steady one who made sure Def Leppard had a life after it.